Have you ever considered how much of ourselves we leave behind in our words, our gestures, or even our digital footsteps? Every message, every mumbled word, every photo shared online, they all tell a story, whether we intend them to or not. For investigators piecing together the puzzle of a crime, these fragments of communication can be incredibly powerful, offering windows into criminal intent, identifying perpetrators, and even helping to reconstruct the sequence of events. Welcome! Today, we're going to explore the fascinating and complex world of offender communication and what it can reveal to those working to understand and prevent crime. This isn't about sensationalism. It's about the diligent, evidence-based approach to uncovering truth through the subtle and sometimes not so subtle ways people communicate. It's a field that has evolved dramatically, from scrutinizing handwritten letters and direct confessions to navigating the vast oceans of digital data we create every single day. The insights we can gain from this area are truly indispensable in modern criminal investigations. So, what exactly are we talking about when we refer to offender communication? Well, it's far more than just a confession in an interrogation room. It's a rich tapestry woven from many threads. Let's break down the main types. First, we have verbal and written communication. This encompasses everything from recorded phone calls and interrogations to letters, emails, social media posts, coded notes, and even ransom demands. Imagine the notes left by a burglar or the specific vocabulary used in an online threat. Experts in forensic linguistics meticulously analyze these, looking at word choices, grammar, spelling, and even unique writing styles. From these patterns, they can often infer characteristics of the author, like their age, education level, or even their geographic background, almost like a linguistic fingerprint. Then there's nonverbal communication. Think about what someone's body language, facial expressions, or the tone of their voice can convey during an interview. Is there an evasive glance, a sudden shift in posture, a change in the pitch of their voice? These subtle cues can be powerful indicators of stress, shame, or even deception, offering critical insights when verbal communication might be intentionally misleading. In our digital age, digital communication has become paramount. This includes texts, images, videos, audio messages, and calls exchanged across mobile devices and various online platforms. The sheer volume of this data is staggering. Digital and mobile forensic specialists are the detectives of this realm, recovering and examining these often massive and incredibly diverse data sets to find crucial evidence, the digital breadcrumbs that perpetrators often unwittingly leave behind. And finally, we have other symbolic communication. This might include visual messages like tattoos, graffiti, or specific symbols that convey meaning, affiliation, or a specific message to a particular audience. These symbols can be codes in plain sight, revealing much about the sender and their world. Now that we know what kinds of communication exist, let's explore how investigators analyze them. This isn't guesswork. It involves specialized methods and sophisticated techniques. One of the primary techniques is forensic communication analysis, often called forensic linguistics. This is where applied linguistics meets the legal system. Experts use linguistic methods like discourse analysis, studying the way language is used in real-life contexts, and stylometry, which is the statistical analysis of writing style. Their goal is to uncover linguistically encoded intentions, infer meaning, and often to attribute authorship, to determine if a specific person wrote a specific document.
Another crucial method is behavioral analysis and profiling. This involves observing anomalies and nonverbal cues to identify deception or emotional states. Beyond individual cues, offender profiling attempts to infer the characteristics of unknown perpetrators by examining patterns in their communication and behavior. It's like building a psychological sketch from the available evidence. In the digital age, digital forensics and data analytics are absolutely vital. This involves recovering and examining data from electronic devices. Advanced tools, including artificial intelligence and machine learning, are now used to process vast data sets. They help identify patterns, map out complex communication networks, and even flag potential security threats, especially in the context of communications from incarcerated individuals. Throughout all these analyses, certain core principles are steadfast. Every forensic effort must adhere to objectivity, precision, reproducibility, a clear chain of custody for evidence, and requires specialized technological expertise. These principles are what ensure credible and legally viable findings, standing up to scrutiny in a court of law. Of course, none of this work happens in a vacuum. A diverse range of entities are involved. Law enforcement agencies are the primary users, from federal bureaus to local police departments, correctional facilities, and intelligence agencies. They rely on these insights daily. Then we have the forensic linguists and experts themselves, the specialists who analyze the language evidence and often serve as expert witnesses in trials, explaining complex findings to juries and judges. Academic and research institutions also play a critical role, conducting cutting-edge research and offering specialized training in forensic linguistics and related fields, constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Finally, technology companies are essential partners, developing the sophisticated tools needed for data collection, analysis, and management. Think of offender management software, electronic monitoring solutions, or powerful crime analytics tools. These are the technological backbone of modern investigations. While the capabilities of analyzing offender communication are truly impressive, it's also important to acknowledge that this field, like any complex scientific endeavor, comes with its share of controversies and debates. One major area of discussion revolves around the reliability and admissibility of forensic evidence. Concerns are sometimes raised about the scientific validity and rigor of certain techniques, especially in aspects of offender profiling. If the science isn't robust, it could potentially lead to wrongful convictions. There are also challenges in accurately communicating complex scientific findings and their limitations to non-scientists, such as jurors or judges, which can unfortunately lead to misinterpretation. And of course, human factors like cognitive biases and even inadequate training in crime labs can at times compromise analytical outcomes. We also hear about the CSI effect, where popular media portrayals of forensic science can create unrealistic expectations among jurors, sometimes influencing trial outcomes.
Another significant set of concerns focuses on ethical issues and privacy. The extensive monitoring of digital communications and geolocation data raises substantial privacy worries. There are ongoing debates about the necessity of clear guardrails, transparency, and preventing any potential abuse or circumvention of due process. For example, the monitoring of inmate calls and mail, while justified for security, sparks continuous debate about balancing correctional security with the privacy rights of incarcerated individuals and their families. Furthermore, ethical dilemmas within law enforcement itself, concerning potential for illegal searches or even evidence tampering, can erode public trust. A critical point here is that surveillance technology often advances much faster than legal and judicial frameworks, creating a gap where ethical standards struggle to keep pace. Lastly, there are technological challenges and limitations. The sheer volume and diverse nature of communication data from various digital sources creates significant hurdles for automatic evidence collection and analysis. Imagine trying to sift through millions of messages and images simultaneously, and integrating these disparate data sources and analytical tools into cohesive investigative systems remains a substantial technical challenge. So, what does the future hold for this evolving field? It's clear that advancements in digital technology and analytical capabilities will continue to drive its evolution. Future efforts will likely concentrate on enhancing the scientific rigor and standardization of forensic communication analysis techniques, particularly for behavioral profiling, ensuring they are as robust and reliable as possible. The increasing integration of artificial intelligence and machine learning will be crucial for managing and extracting intelligence from the ever-growing mountains of data. These technologies can help us find patterns and connections that would be impossible for humans alone. However, hand in hand with this technological progress, addressing the ethical and privacy concerns related to data collection and surveillance will remain paramount. This will require continuous, thoughtful dialogue among technologists, legal professionals, policymakers, and the public to establish robust legislative and judicial frameworks that keep pace with these advancements. Ultimately, the goal is to ensure that while we leverage these powerful tools for public safety, we also fiercely protect civil liberties. The journey to understanding offender communication is a complex one, but it's a journey that continually brings us closer to uncovering truth and building a safer society, one piece of communication at a time.